G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, we're going to have another flight in the beautiful MiG-19 PT. My baby. This plane grew on me amazingly in the previous patches. I used to hate it when I first got it. It was difficult for me to fly, the rudder was garbage, the guns didn't have enough ammo, and it just didn't seem to perform that well. But basically, I got used to it, and it is amazing. It is perhaps one of the planes that I feel most comfortable in, as any fighter. That may be the G55S, and the F100 is slowly growing back on me, and I honestly think they're both on more or less equal terms. Maybe the F100 is slightly more noob-friendly, and the MiG-19 PT is a little bit more risky. It doesn't pay off if you have bad aim, and you've got to be conservative with your shots. You've got to be careful with your energy. You can't really muck around a whole lot in this plane. Same goes for the F100, but in a different way. So with the F100, you can sort of pull turns, but you bleed a lot of energy. This thing hauls energy. It is crazy. When you put this thing into a vertical, it loses F100s. The problem is when you go on the offensive, you start to lose your ability to, for example, shoot down things with missiles. Out of about 2 kilometers, you can't really do anything. And aside from hitting someone in a dead straight line or in a stall, you're not really going to get anything out of those R3Ss or the R13Ms. So they're more there for show, in all honesty. Maybe to hunt down a T2, but you don't face them. The MiG-19 PT, for me, has to be one of the most interesting jets in the entire game, simply because it has 1, radar. It is 2, extremely skill-based. Simply because you don't have the ammo count and you need to learn the plane properly. You need to learn its quirks, you need to learn its strengths and weaknesses before you can fully utilize the full power of this monster. You'll see exactly what I mean in a second, but essentially, this thing really, really pulls energy from nowhere. It's got 2 huge engines, and that's what I'm making work here. I'm just going to put it into a slight vertical, looking for targets. Basically, I'm looking for climbers because they're going to be slow and they're going to be easy pickings, but a hunter comes in basically out of nowhere and forces me to put the plane into a vertical. As you can see here, I'm just casually evading a couple of shots. The MiG-19 has really, really good turning capabilities around about 700 kilometers per hour, but we can't really rest on that because there's another MiG-19 right behind me, and because we've both got radar, he can spot me because he's behind me. I need to be really, really careful. I need to be careful of missiles, I need to be careful of any other planes that might come out of the clouds, and obviously this MiG-19 is slowly gaining on me. As you can see, he's launched a missile, and at that point I figure that maybe we should just put this into a turn fight, see how it goes. I put my takeoff flaps on because I'm below about 400 kilometers per hour, dive for a little bit of speed, and then I change my direction when I think he's about to shoot. So as you can see, change the direction to sort of face away from him, and then I put it straight into the vertical because if I engaged in a turn fight, I would basically put myself in front of his guns. So if I go into the vertical, that means that he has to make more maneuvers to get towards me. As I hit the top of the loop, I put the landing flaps on and then take off and then retract them again. So I put myself into a dive, and now I am in the advantage. I can't see him, but there he is. I'm warming up a missile just so that I can potentially catch him as he goes into the straight. But being the genius that this guy is, he rips his wings. Unlucky ducky. But you know what? I'll take that as a kill. Let's make that kill number 1. But kill number 1 is not going to give us the victory. As you can see, we have a metric arse ton of enemies to kill. And you know what? We're going to have some good fun. The MiG-19 in particular, in fact, all Tenno jets get more dangerous as the match goes on because they're able to get into places that you would never think. 10 kilometers up, enjoy getting to 10k in a 9.0 jet. Enjoy, trying to hunt them down. As you can see, I'm trying to use my missiles, but it's just not going to work. So I spray a little bit more, and I miss. It's frustrating when you miss, but you need to make the most of your shots. Obviously, I couldn't get it done there. So what do? I go for the energy, I go for the speed, I put it into a dive, look for targets that might be near me, see if I can sort of maneuver away from them. And there's a MiG-15 there as well, so maybe I should go for him. I can't really get guns on. I'm not going to take this shot unless I have a certain kill. I can't really sort of sit around and rest as well, because there are a lot of enemies here, and I need to start killing them. Otherwise, the enemy team is going to end up with a numbers advantage, and the MiG-19 really, really favors a 1v1 situation. If you can 1v1 a MiG-19 and an F-100 or even a MiG-17 or something like that, you will get outdone every single time. What you need to do is you need to double team them or 2v2 them. And I've said this from the beginning, and I will continue to say this. This is the exact way that you combat MiGs in general. This is exactly how you fight them. And it works almost every single time. Shady head on there doesn't really get me anything. I risk ripping my wings as well with the double turn, using the elevators, rudder, and the ailerons. But quick head on, and nothing from the missed air either. F2 comes in, and I'm evading the F2 as well. So I haven't really killed anyone. I haven't really done anything productive for the team, apart from that one MiG-19. But realistically, what I'm starting to try and do is make these guys focus on me. I want them to extend with me, because I know I'm going to be able to out-energy them. And if they fire at an AIM-9, I'm not really fussed, because it's just an AIM-9. I can evade that, and I can keep going vertical. I can push myself further into the vertical, and missed airs aren't going to catch me. The missed airs are more for fighting MiG-17s. And this is exactly what is happening. I'm well above them. I have a nice energy advantage. And you can see that, partially because the MiG-19 just hauls ass. But second of all, because they're all going really slow. I'm able to actually catch them in a dive without even batting an eyelid. I'm not even above 900. And I managed to get the super missed air while he's not paying attention. The MiG-15 behind him, sort of going into a vertical. It's an ish, so I take a couple of pot shots, assuming this guy's probably not going to stay still. Funnily enough, he does. I'm pretty much lost for words, I would expect you to maybe do a little bit more evading. Maybe his pilot was blacked out, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That's fine for me. I push ahead on in the against the F-35. Nothing really comes out of that. It's not really worth risking that. He's running tracer belts, so that's nice and convenient for me. I can see exactly where he's firing. And it's just these two guys left. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them to come up towards me, bleed all their speed, and then kill them when they're slow. But obviously, as you'll find out, it's not going to happen. But the thing is, that's how you have to fight 9.0s. They can outturn you. They can do a lot of things better than you. And that's one thing that you have to keep in mind when you're flying 10.0 jets. You can't just turn fight with them. You'll lose. In the F-100, maybe you'll keep up for a little bit. But in the long run, when it comes to the low-speed dogfights, you'll end up getting smashed every single time. This A5 is coming up for a vertical. I was hoping he would stall out here, so I just fire a quick head-on, and I get a beautiful kill. I admittedly got very lucky there, so let's try that again, shall we? I go for another head-on, aim right on the target, and boom. 600-meter convergence, that's no vertical targeting, and that's game. 2 beautiful head-ons to finish off the game, and a victory within 10 minutes. Easy, easy victory. What you've got to do is you've got to sort out all of the enemies. You've got to put them below you, make sure they're slow, make sure they're easy pickings, and then maybe your team or yourself will come and clean them up. And they'll really, really start thinning the numbers. And that's what you've got to think about in jets. You've got to start thinning numbers early, or start killing energy early of the enemies. You've got to maintain yours. You've got to start working through them ever so slowly. And that's how you end up winning in jets. You end up sort of coming out on top. And it's fun. The MiG-19 is a beautiful jet. Type that in the comments below if you watched to the end of the video. Take care, guys, and I'll catch you next time.